From its roots as a small camp on the Overland Trail, the addition of a land-grant university, and more recently a booming Colorado population, Fort Collins has evolved and grown into a strong, vibrant community, rich in arts, culture, and opportunity. With the Poudre River as its heartbeat and the mountains and prairie as its backdrop, Fort Collins has not so quietly become not just our town, our community, and our favorite place, but a highly desirable place to live, work, and play. Rich in not just natural resources, but human resources as well, a spirit of innovation and creativity have emerged and a culture of collaboration has taken shape. It's these types of things that have put our little town not just on the map in Colorado, but across the country as well.
Fort Collins has some amazing assets, and the obvious one is Colorado State University. But I think there's so many other things that exemplify your character and your values. Things like your Fort Zed Zero Energy Initiative project downtown. Things like the Powerhouse, which I think is a fantastic story of renewal and rebirth and reimagining an old building into something that's very exciting for the 21st century.
Of course, the transit system that Fort Collins has embarked on the last couple of years is amazing. It's been a major public investment for the city. It's clearly widely accepted by citizens up there, and so I think it just simply adds further to the already high quality of life in Fort Collins.
The Fort Collins area has so many natural resources that are just stunning and that really ground one to the region and to the area.
There's a lot of entrepreneurship that goes on here. There's a lot of ideas sharing, there's a lot of creativity, there's just ideas in the air. It makes it a really amazing place to live.
I think your philanthropic community is quite amazing, the Bohemian Foundation and the Give 10 program there. And not for nothing, let's talk about New Belgium Brewery, which I think is an amazing asset for your community. And it has done a fantastic job of creating not only a beer culture, but creating a maker culture, an entrepreneurial culture, an artisanal craft culture there in your city. Now, any one of those would make for a fantastic asset, but you guys have all of those in your city. It is an almost embarrassment of riches.
It's a vibrant community with very active citizens. It's a full-service city. It's got a wonderful staff. It's always been guided by great elected officials on the council and individuals as mayor. And of course, the relationship it has with CSU is second to none.
So I think across this community there's a commitment to quality of life for everyone. We're interested in growth and sustainability, in prosperity and taking care of the people who don't have quite as much as we do. And I think that combination, people who perhaps are more prone to say let's rather than can't, really makes this a special place.
It just doesn't feel in Fort Collins as if any one person or any one entity is trying to make a grab for the spotlight. The spotlight is not what's important, it's the work that's important.
And that comes in a variety of ways, not just sort of the traditional approaches, but also this combination of being creative, being innovative, collaborating, bringing together synergistic partnerships, the university, the private sector, the public sector in the city, the school district, the healthcare network. All of those things come together in a way where we really say there are opportunities here for us to do more than the individual sum of the parts.
These ideas of networking, collaboration, adaptability, flexibility that are crucial to having a successful place of invention. Natural resources as well as human resources as well as financial resources, how these things all come together today as well as in the past. And the more we looked at the finer details of this, the more we honed in on Fort Collins. Precisely because of those aspects that I mentioned earlier of the city, the university, and businesses coming together with this same philosophy of collaboration to achieve something important, wonderful.
If you look at the data, all the university cities are growing quickly, attracting lots of degreed individuals, building enormous arts and culture sectors that help keep talent there and attract more, starting companies at a faster rate than other cities. These are the cities that are really positioned perfectly for the 21st century economy. But at the same time, we have to be thinking about the future. What do we do about affordable housing? What do we do about transportation and congestion if all these folks are coming to live in our beautiful cities? So there's a lot of responsibility that comes with creating such a fantastic city.
I think a big issue now in Fort Collins is the question of inclusion. There's been a lot of growth in Fort Collins because it's such a desirable place to live. And of course, as it happens, while the quality of life is increasing, so is the cost of living. And at this point, the question of how can we create a Fort Collins that continues to be home to a diverse group of people. And by diversity, I mean people that may range in terms of their socioeconomic status, their linguistic abilities, their cultural background, and their ethno-racial identity. I think the further part is in what ways can we pay more attention to outcomes of planning and development being equitable as well. And that's a challenge that all cities are having now as they grow and they become more expensive places to live.
I think if there was one thing all of us who are a part of this community could do that assures that Fort Collins continues to excel and move forward, it's to care about each other. When you take that attitude, when we all say what matters is that you improve, that things are better from your point of view, when we stand in each other's shoes and try and see the world from your point of view, that's when communities, I think, really move forward and improve. And that would be my hope for Fort Collins going forward.
Great cities strive to continue to be great cities. They don't rest on their laurels. And I think that is, again, the one thing that we can do moving forward, is let's enjoy the moment. Let's look back on what we've accomplished, which is a heck of a lot. But let's take that moment to reflect, and then let's get back to work tomorrow, because this stuff is fun. It needs to be fun. It needs to be engaging. It needs to be satisfying. It needs to be emotionally enriching. And I think that is one of the reasons why Fort Collins is such a wonderful place, is that obviously people care very deeply about it. It is a very lovable city.
And through our culture of creativity, innovation, and collaboration, we have become a city of not just best practices, but best ideas and best people. It is our mission to continue these exceptional ideas and practices throughout our community to provide a sustainable, equitable, and enjoyable community for all.